in my own hometown. Stranger.
Hey everybody, Little John, and I'm just sitting down to blend the All Grain Scotch that I ran on Sunday. It's Tuesday afternoon, so it's been breathing for pretty much 48 hours. So it's time to go through and check what we got, and blend her up a little bit and get it onto the smoke and ready to age. So what I've got in front of me at the moment, I've got eight jars. This is 8 jars I collected out of the hearts of the rum. There was about 500 or 600 ml before, which was I've just gotten rid of. Watching the video, I had a bit of a puking problem. So this is the first jar of hearts, and going off from the run from temperatures, these should pretty much be all hearts. The last jar, number 8 there, might be starting to taper these two, starting to get the temperature up, bleeding towards hearts, into the tails, and jar of the remainder's been taken away already for faints. So what I'm looking to do with this batch is I want to split this into two jars. We go into 2 jars, yay big there, 825 milliliter jars. I should get pretty close to 2 full jars out of this without any problem, and that will then turn into about 1.2 litres each. So 2.4, about 3.5 bottles full. So what I want to do is just go through, and what I do is just go through these, just do a small tasting on each one, and basically I just give it a rating out of 5. I'll do that on each jar, and then I can use that as a way of determining what I want in, how much I want of what, if it's, you know, if it's going to make it into a blend, or if it's going to go back into faints for the next run. So what I do, I start off with where I think we're really deep in the hearts, where we're getting good product, and that's jar number 3, which at the time was really clean and still, you know, very, very clean smell. So I'll just pull off a little bit. I don't want too much, just enough so I can taste it, and I'll cut that back with a bit of water, sort of try and get it back closer to bottling strength. And I'm not too worried about what flavours I'm getting on. You see some people, they want to, you know, go through descriptors and how it's, you know, reality is just, you know, how does that go? And I just give that a quick score. That's sort of about 3.5. Now this isn't judging. It's just a reference point. So from there, we'll just stick one way or another. Now, at this point, this is only really a bloody reference, because it's got to be opened and aged and all sorts of things yet. I'm going to give that a 4. Now, that's not actually as smooth as the jar before, but it's got a little more interest in the flavour. So I just go through and just keep doing this, and basically what I'm looking at with the scores, or what I'm looking at, is a measure of what it's going to, what each different jar is going to bring to a final blend. And then what I'll do is I can adjust the quantities and the ratios of each different one. Given I'm only going to throw 2 jars in there, it's going to be a little bit hard to play around with this too much, but what I can do, and what the plan is to make one jar that's going to be smoother and cleaner, prettier, and then the second jar which is going to be a bit more, have a bit more character and a bit more balls in it. So trying to find just that, that little bit extra for the second blend. I mean, I don't want bottle after bottle with the same bloody thing. Anyways, watches my brewing videos sees that I'm always drinking a different whiskey. Same with beer. I don't like drinking the same thing over and over, so I don't want to just bung out three or four bottles of the same tasting thing, but it's been mixing everything together. So this way I'm going to get, as I said, a bit of variation. Now these are all still coming off they're quite smooth. This couple here, there's been a little bit more interest around the edge, a little bit of, nothing spiky or hot, but just a little bit more lingering on the mouth. See that jar, that's a little bit rougher. That's definitely going to be looking more of that in the in that mongrel batch. That one's got a completely different nose to the others have had. And you'll get this across your batch from jar to jar, and this is why you take want to take relatively small cuts, because you'll get different flavours and smells through the run. As your ABV drops in the boiler, the temperature does fluctuate. Through the column, even with regulated temp control and water flow, it still fluctuates. See, that's got sharpest nose out of the lot, but it's the smoothest. And last fella. And I'll say this one, without checking my notes, I'm pretty sure this was sneaking up into the low 90s. Bottle after that, I went straight to faints. that's still quite nice. It's still relatively smooth. But I thought that's going to go in the smooth jar more so than the mongrel jar. So I'll get these jars. These jars, for the sake of it, aren't clean. I've just taken off some bourbon. This one called Jesse's that was in these. Small little batches. I've taken most of the oak, off them. So now I just want to get our mix into these, and to varying quantities. So we'll start from number one. So this is the one that's nice and had the nose but had the edge. Other side that was smooth, so we'll get the bulk of that. Jar number one. Now, I'm not too and again, I'm not worried about being precise with these. It's only it's ballparking. It's taking a bit of what you got and working around it. So that fella, that's one that was quite sharp and a bit edgy. So we'll put a good dash more of that in to there. We'll put about 2/3 into the mongrel, about 1 into the clean one. That's our biggest jar. And he was a little bit, neither here nor there. So I'm going to keep him just aside at the moment because he can sort of top out. This one was fairly clean. 300, so we'll go about 2/3 and 1/3. And we just work our way through the jars. Now this fella was a bit rougher, so a bit more of him into there. Quite so much in there. So by doing this, you can play around with your profile and get sort of a bit. This gives you the way you can personalise your batch instead of just getting your whole batch and dumping it into one demijohn and just letting the whole thing oak. You're going to get different. A couple of different scotches or whiskies, depending on whichever one you want to do. And this one was reasonably smooth, so I'm just pretty much splitting 50-50. This one was very clean, and so I'm getting a little bit higher on here, but so we'll go maybe around 40-60. This fellow was also now I've marked him to mostly go to the left, so what I will do, 200, and up there. Okay, not a lot of room left there, so we will just top out with this fella now. And I'm not going to quite get there. Not quite enough. Still got about 150 ml left in there, and I'll put him back into my faints jar, which has so simply because I don't have enough bloody remedy release to, I can just go straight back into faints, and we'll end up going through the next batch. You're never wasting anything. Go through next time, and we'll get something out of it then. as I said, the same. You go for that. Any of those that you don't want the flavour that's in them in your final whisky. Just dump them, put them back in the faints, and run them through the next batch. So now we're going to get some oak in here. So as tradition says with the Scotch, we use used bourbon barrels. When you're doing bourbon, you require new virgin oak barrels, which is what we use with chips their first time around. But for Scotch, you need to use used bourbon barrels. So the chips have been used already, so we'll pop them in. They're obviously not going to have as much colour left in them. And we'll get a whack in there. Now I've got a mix of dark and light, or dark and medium, and just going to get a whack in there. And probably not going to get any more than that. We're going to overflow, so that'll do us. Good on them. And there you have it. So about 1.6 litres of Scotch. Now I'm not sure exactly what the ABV on these is going to be. I'm not going to worry about checking it. It's going to be somewhere around the from the numbers that come up, somewhere around the 65-66% mark, which is pretty well spot on for where you want to be for your barrel aging. So just stick a sticker on these so we know what they are. And the date. And then that'll be it. So that's it. That's the blending of the cuts, and you can do that with any whiskey you're doing. Scotch, whiskey, rum, doesn't matter. Any spirit you can do that. Of course, you can just go straight through and just put the whole batch in, or like I said, put the whole thing into it. You can have massive amounts of it. And I said I prefer not to. So I'm pretty happy with how this one's gone. As I said, if you haven't seen the video's back from the other day where we were on the mash and where I did the run. So you can check that out. And other than that, I'm going to I'll now let these sit for the duration, however long it'll be, and at some point in the future bit we'll come back and we'll have some taste testing on these and see how they're going. Probably in about probably in a couple of weeks just let that oak start settling in, and then we'll come back and we'll have a look at how it's progressing. We'll do everything as we're going along the way. So that's it. That's the whiskey for the day. So till I see you again, we're playing around with some spirits, bottoms up.